Hey guys, welcome to the Empowered Birth podcast with me, Scarlett Garcia. Today we are going to be talking about breath work, and breath work is going to be our first skill that we're going to learn to prepare our body and our mind for labor. Now you can learn breath work for regardless of what birth you're actually planning for. So you might have in your head at the moment that you want to have an epidural, you might want an elective C-section, or you might be aiming for a vaginal birth unmedicated. Regardless of what you want, breath work is going to help you throughout any of those scenarios. The reason why I believe breath work is such an important skill to learn is because it's going to help us access our vagus nerve, which is the massive nerve that runs from the back of your neck all the way down to the length of your body. If we can access this nerve and soothe it, we can access our parasympathetic nervous system and have a nice, calm, loose birth. Because the looser our body is, the easier it is for our baby to be guided through the birth canal. So picture this, if you're like walking around your house and you kick your foot against a piece of furniture and you get that really sharp pain, what's the first thing that you do? You take a deep breath in and you hold it and you tense up. You probably hop around a little bit too and you probably swear and all that stuff, but you're tense and you're not breathing. This is just an instinct that our body has. And so this is what we want to learn out of. We want to drop that habit or that instinct and develop a new one where when we feel the discomfort of a contraction, we start doing our breathing and we stay loose and we stay calm and focused. So one of the first breathing techniques we're going to learn is called diaphragmatic breathing. So if you're in your car or wherever you are listening to this podcast at the moment, I want you to just do a little bit of normal breathing, but actually focus on where about in your body you're feeling that breath. So if you're just doing some normal breaths, you're going to notice that it's mainly your chest that is rising and falling, because that's where our body's bringing in that breath. It's bringing it in at the top of those lungs, not necessarily taking in deep, long breaths, filling our whole entire lung up. Especially if you're pregnant at the moment, your lungs are kind of the first thing that have to give up space as your baby grows. So it might be a little bit difficult trying to fill up those lungs. So the aim of this breath is we're going to suck in a purposeful breath, but we're going to focus that breath into our diaphragm, right down into our bellies. So when you're noticing this diaphragmatic breathing, you're going to notice that your belly is rising and falling. And that's what we want. That's when we know we're doing the right breaths, because we're feeling our belly rising and falling. So let's just do a quick sample of what that breathing might look like. So we're going to take in a deep breath through our nose for 4 seconds. And then we're going to let that breath out through our mouths purposefully for 4 seconds. So let's do that now. So that's in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out through our mouth for 1, 2, 3, 4. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then out for 1, 2, 3, 4. So that breath, you're going to bring it right in through your nose and you're going to feel your belly rise up. And then you're going to let it all out through your mouth. And the out breath is a purposeful breath. It's like you're pushing the air out, and we want it to go for at least 4 seconds. So when we start to feel the early stages of labor, so we might feel the period cramping around our pelvis, we might feel some lower back aching, we'll be feeling quite a bit of tenseness around our uterus because it's contracting at that time. This is the breathing you're going to want to do, because it's going to help center your mind. It's going to calm your body down. It's going to prevent some adrenaline from being created by your body, because you're not in a fight or flight mode anymore. and you're going to calm your parasympathetic nervous system into its rest and digest. So that means we're going to be calm, loose, and grounded, ready for these rolls of contractions that are going to start. So let's just practice that again. We're going to go in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then blow through our mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you start to feel a little bit anxious during your labor, or maybe in the lead up to it, maybe you're getting closer to your due date, you're feeling a bit worried because you haven't really noticed any signs of labor, another different type of breathing that you can do to calm your anxiousness is called box breathing. And so you're going to do the similar breathing technique that is the diaphragmatic breathing, but this time you're going to add a hold in the middle. So you're going to go in through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to let it out through your mouth for 1, 2, 3, 4. And you do that for as many times as you want until you start to feel yourself calm down or until you start to feel yourself relax. You can still do this type of breathing when you're going through your contractions, but we do want to prevent ourselves from holding our breath because, like I said before, when we hold our breath, we get tense, and that's when the discomfort of a contraction might hit us the hardest. We want to stay loose and we want to stay calm and grounded. The other great thing about breath work is it really does help our bodies process the pain just a little bit different to what we would if we weren't breathing properly. So if we've got some calm, rhythmic breathing that we're focusing on, that's another way that we can take our mind off the contraction and onto something else. This distraction technique, when we're focusing our mind on our breath and not our contraction, will work best in your early labor. When your labor starts to get more established, and so the contractions are coming at a more frequent time, maybe between 3 to 5 minutes apart, and they're lasting for about a minute, then we're going to want to really start to focus and find another tool to use. So that might be like a birth comb, and we're holding it, sending our pain receptors to a different pain intake. We might be doing some swaying. You might want to add in some vocalization, dancing, all different types of techniques. There's so many different things that we can learn. Okay, now that we're into fully established labor and we're starting to feel that transition of our baby pushing right against our perineum, we might be feeling like the need to poop, or we're feeling that some people describe it as a ring of fire, which is just like a really sort of strange sensation around your perineum and the opening of your vagina, because that's where your baby's head is now sitting. This is when we're going to want to shift our breathing to forceful breaths. Now we're going to do these forceful breaths with the guidance of our healthcare professional, because the aim of these forceful breaths is to protect our perineum and allow the baby to gently come through our vagina or out our vaginal opening and past our perineum. These forceful breaths are going to be as if you're blowing out a candle. So you're going to puff your cheeks up and you're forcefully blowing out air. You don't need to necessarily count in your head or anything like that, because you're going to be guided by whoever's assisting you with birth. The aim of the candle blowing technique is, like I said, to gently ease that baby out through our vaginal opening and to protect our perineum. We're only going to do these candle-like blowing breaths when we have that sensation to push. So just like our earlier contractions, the pushing part is going to come in waves, just like any normal contraction. In the breaks between each pushing episode, we're going to want to breathe normally because we don't want to hyperventilate. That's probably our aim in this point. And it's not easy to do, so don't worry. That's not even something you need to be worried about. However, we don't want to keep doing that candle blowing breath that whole stage. We just want to do it when our body is feeling the need to push and we want to guide our baby out nicely. So remember, we've got the diaphragmatic, slow, purposeful breaths for the early and main stage of labor when those contractions are still building and we're still pacing our way through the dilation of our cervix. The candle blowing is for the pushing stage when we're trying to gently guide our baby out through our vaginal opening to protect our perineum and to also gently guide our baby out. These two techniques are really useful to teach to your support person. So your support person, whoever they are, sister, brother, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, whoever they are, because if you teach them these two techniques for your labor, they're in the best position to remind you of these techniques. So sometimes if you start to lose your mind or you lose your cool a little bit and you're panicking because you're not sure when to leave the house or all these things and your contractions are coming, your husband or your support person or your wife can grab you and refocus your mind, guide you through that breathing technique. Support partners, a really good thing to do is actually do these techniques with your birthing partner. So you can do the box breathing technique if you find they're becoming a little bit anxious, or you can do the diaphragmatic breathing as those contractions start to roll in. It's a really simple way for you to be there, present, and helping your birthing partner to get through these contractions. One of the other cool things you can do as well is to add a scent to your labor prep. So to go with your these two breathing techniques, you want to pick a scent that's going to help focus your mind, or you might want it to help calm your body, calm your mind. So what I used was frankincense because I did a little research before my second labor, and I found that frankincense is used to focus your mind because it's sharp and it pulls your attention back to what you're doing, pulls your attention to your breath as you're doing your diaphragmatic breathing or even your candle blowing. You just get somebody, your birth partner or your other support person or anyone else, just to stick the bottle under your nose and you take a sharp breath in, and it really helps focus your mind. You can also use things like lavender or chamomile because those scents will help calm you down. If you're a little bit of a frazzled person or you're a bit anxious and stressful, those scents would be useful for you during labor because it can calm you down. It's just another tool to add into your when you're already doing something like breath work. With my frankincense, I did have it on a lava bead bracelet. So lava beads you just drop oil onto it and it absorbs it. And so it was just an easy way to have that scent everywhere. But then for my second birth, when I got to the hospital and I was in the pushing stage and I could feel my baby's head coming out, at that point, I was really tired. I was quite frazzled at that moment, and I was trying to do my candle blowing breaths with the guidance of my midwife. My mum ended up sticking the scent just the whole bottle right under my nose. And that was just something I really needed at the time. And it just helped bring back my focus to what I was needing to do at the time. So that's something else you can add. As we get further into our birthing skills, we are going to start into doing vocalization. And so vocalization and breath work go hand in hand, and they work together to help your body process your discomfort and everything that comes with the contractions during labor. So start practicing the diaphragmatic breathing especially. You don't necessarily need to practice the candle blowing because that's something that your support person or your midwife can guide you through. But definitely the diaphragmatic breathing, because you need to start developing it as a little bit of a habit, or to change up your instincts a little bit from getting tense to then starting to do those breaths. So it doesn't matter how far along you are in pregnancy. if you're at like 8 weeks and you just found out, start doing these breaths now. Even if you're at 40 weeks and you're struggling and your due date's coming up, your due date's come and gone, start doing these breathings now, because not only will it help you in whatever part of the journey you're at now, it's going to help you for your labor as well. So those are our 2 breathing techniques that we want to focus on developing for preparation for labor. Give them a go, practice them. Let me know what you think in the comments below, or reach out to us on Instagram or YouTube under Empowered Birth by Scarlett Garcia. Don't forget to click subscribe to us on Spotify or YouTube, or wherever you're hearing this from now. And I hope to see you back here on our next episode.